Hope you're well. Welcome to my channel. So this is where I talk about twin flame process, and this is going to be a reading for the supermoon in Aquarius. It's a new moon, and it's going to be exact at 22:58 tonight in the UK. So let's see what they have to say. So I know nothing about this moon, just so you know. I have got nothing at all. I haven't read anything, I haven't looked anywhere. I just looked at my moon phases. It says it's Aquarius. I'm looking at Aquarius, reading that, and it's just not, I'm not getting anything. So, emptiness, a void, clarity, something coming from inside, they're saying. Something coming later on, they're saying. So, penny's going to drop, they just said. You may feel as though you have cleared through a lot of negativity this week, internally, externally, in relation to your well-being, they're saying, cleared through a lot of negativity. So that could be anything that has been around you in the physical dimension that has caused you to feel not at one with yourself. Anything that's been around you that's caused you to feel uncomfortable, worried, stressed, and that's taken you away from yourself and your own sense of well-being. So you might have gone through something this week that just, they're saying mildly, tried to take you away from yourself. And what I'm getting is interactions with other humans. So generally, everything can take you away from yourself if you're not grounded. Events, situations, occurrences. They've got this overwhelming energy of other people, and maybe one particular person, or perhaps it's just human interactions themselves, like conversations, and the possibility of it taking you away from yourself. Maybe there's somebody trying to take your energy. Like if you have a conversation with someone and they're making it all about them, and you feel like you're not getting a word in edgeways, or you're just being asked to give too much of yourself, listen too hard, or try to answer questions for them. This kind of thing. It's very energetic, they're saying, so it might not necessarily be that what is being said, but just the energy of how it's coming across. So somebody just being overbearing or overwhelming you with information, that kind of a thing going on, where you just feel like exasperated because you're like, I wish they'd just shut up and leave me alone. That's too much information. Or I wish something like that going on. I feel like if this went on this earlier in the week and now you've got a space, they're saying there's a breathing space. Clarity again, they just said. Clarity coming along. You may also have spiraled away some negativity in the form of your twin and their exasperation about their life itself. So perhaps the two things are comparable, like you've had a situation where you've had to deal with someone which has been exasperating, as in, it's just too much. And that's comparable to your twin having a sense of their life being exasperating and being too much and overwhelm. Clarity coming for you in the sense of a release somehow, like you can let go of the person you've been dealing with, whoever that is, not your twin, but whoever it is that's brought you the feeling of not being at one with yourself. And a clarity coming for your twin in the form of a release from how they felt about something, about their life, basically. So you might have had a comparable experience as well, with you suddenly having the energy of regret coming through you, feelings of regret. They're saying abandonment, and maybe where you felt abandoned in life or by life, like life abandoned me. Feelings of not being looked after, they're saying, and feeling like your life has there's been nothing, and feeling like it's all been for nothing, and feeling like it hadn't turned out the way you wanted it to turn out, and that kind of, the hopelessness of it all being for nothing, they're saying. So, and we've got this jumping out, which is the heart of the masculine. It's the King of Cups, so it's the heart of the masculine. So it's something around, it's heart-centered in the masculine. It's something around their sense of well-being, right? And their feeling of love of life. And this is 4, and it's mastery. So it's something that you've gone through this week. And like they're saying, it can be an event that you went through. It could be a feeling that you've gone through. It can also, therefore, have been thoughts that you went through that are comparable to the thoughts of your twin, that you've had to allow this feeling come through, which then you have the clarity. It's like they're saying it's clearing. So in Aquarius, it's clearing. Aquarius is mastery. It's mastery of the mind, and it's claircognizance. So Aquarius is like clear knowingness. And it's the intelligence that comes from source. So it's, thought from source, basically, claircognizance. So there's something coming through from source, directly from source, in the form of clarity. And they're talking about release and freedom. And they're showing me a duck or a goose lifting off from the ground and flying off into the beyond, basically. So it's like something being released. And flying off, and freedom, finding freedom. So thoughts that find freedom, that give you freedom, are coming along. So you're going to experience those with the moon. Feelings of high energy as well. So it's really attached to higher self. High feminine energy, they're saying. So feeling of lightheartedness and feeling of purity and clarity, and feeling good and feeling fine and feeling high and feeling happy. Shining, they're saying, feeling bright and shiny, and feeling renewed. And so maybe you've gone through a release as well, like you had something coming in that felt overwhelming, like either you were going to have to go through something overwhelming, or you were feeling it got close, they're saying. So you came right up close to what is feelings of confusion and frenzy, and then it backed off and it walked away from you, and you were able to let it go. Something that happened this week, and means that you're in this freedom energy now. And there's something about you turning around and walking away from something. So like you were going towards it because you thought it would be something that you had to do, maybe, or somebody that you had to engage with on a deeper level, or a more permanent level, or a even more in-depth level. And then you were able to like kind of go, no, I don't have to do that. I've got a choice. Or, or just the clarity came of like, actually, no, you're not meant to do that. That's not where you're being guided. And you do a swift U-turn and you come out of that energy. And it's like, what a relief. I don't have to engage with that person anymore. Some people, it might have been more than one person. Sometimes the itch, scratching the itch, like changing the energy between you and your twin, it takes more than one event. So if you had multiple people come along that you were like, oh my God, I'm going to have to like engage with this person for like the foreseeable future, and you're like feeling that like, oh God, sinking feeling of that. And then you got another that comes along and you get the same thing. You're like, oh my God, not another one. And they're just like the other one. And maybe you got 3 coming along. Oh God, no. I can't do 3 of them. And then it all just turns around and you're like, actually, I'm not having to do any of that. And there's this freedom, because sometimes it just takes more than one person to get, because what happens is they're saying, you get these events coming along. So you get these 3 people, for example, that you're engaging with, communicating with, maybe people that are doing work for you or you think are going to do work for you, or maybe people you're going to do work for them, or whatever, or you're buying something off them or something. It's some kind of engagement, right? And it's going to, as you move towards it, it looks like you're going to have to engage further. So maybe you're booking them for something and they're going to do some work for you, something like that. And so you have these events kicking off with these people that come towards you that take you out of your comfort zone and take you into a feeling of like, oh God, I really don't want to do this, and it doesn't feel good. That feeling, when you have that, triggers the comparable event in your twin, right? Well, not exactly, no. So it triggers you into feeling the comparable energy that your twin is feeling. So your twin heading into this scenario of my life has not worked out for me. This is how they're thinking, right? My life has always never felt good. This is how they're feeling. Remember, men, masculines, feel from their thoughts, right? So they think feelings rather than they feel feelings. They're not very able to master just feeling itself. They don't assess their feelings so much as they think about like what's gone on and how, and then they say, this is how I feel about it, but it's from the mind. So it's like your twin getting into this energy of, my life has never been what I want it to be. And for you to fully feel that, or for you to utilize this for them in a feeling sense, because remember the masculine is a thinking, not a feeling. So if you access their feelings for them, so you have these events come to you that take you into this profound energy of regret, sadness and loss that you feel, that comes over you, that's overwhelming. Actually, you may not see it connected to the events that you've just gone through, but it is, because those things are putting you into a non-feeling good place. And once you get into a non-feeling good place, what comes up from there is what needs to be cleared, right? So what you're doing is you're being brought into a non-feeling good place through your twin flame process by this series of events that go through that take you into that place, so that you can bring up the feelings that the masculine needs to release. So you therefore get into these feelings of like, my life has never felt the way it should. My life has not been what it's meant to be. I've never had this relationship with this person, or with any person maybe. I never had this, I never had that. It's not like, why am I here? What am I here for? So you go through this, but actually, when you examine your life in that way, when you start to examine your life in a why am I here and what am I here for, if it wasn't for any of this, then you're entering into what is a really extremely high energy void. So it's almost like you have to spiral down into the depths of like, woe is me, to come up with the questions of like, why am I here? What am I here for? To get the clarity on the answer, which is the freedom of the bird taking off, right? But the feminine going down into that, you're bringing the masculine up out of it. So you're bringing the masculine into the heart so they can feel good, right? So you go down there and then you bring them out again, and they come into feeling good, and they come into the release. And what is the release we're coming into? Dark moon masculine, Aquarius masculine, the mind masculine, care cognizance, direct thought from source. That's what we're coming into with this moon. So to go into this downward spiral before the moon, to get hold of the masculine's heart and come back up at the moon, right, and allow them to receive, you're bringing them up and out into the Aquarian moon, the claircognizance, to receive direct inspiration from source through exactly how it is they operate, through the mind and the masculine and the thought, right? So, and therefore, but they're kind of going to bring themselves into the heart through that, because they get the aha. They're going to get an aha moment basically at this moon. So that's what's happened. That's where we're heading. So right now, like I say, it might feel like you don't, because you've been let off the hook, right? Feminine is off the hook now. You've done your job. You've gone down. You've come back up. So you're probably feeling quite released now and free and higher energy and clear, and like everything's all right exactly the way it is, which is what is clear. When everything feels exactly all right the way it is, like nothing's wrong, you feel good. So you're probably feeling all right now, like that. Just like, yeah, there's always like, you could always do a scratch and sniff, like peel off the outer shell, right, and look for something that's wrong. But that's not what this energy is about. I don't feel like you're going to be doing that. You're going to be like, just like, it's like a pulsating okayness. It's just a heart beating okayness. It's not like going out through the door and looking for something that could be wrong and trying to like bring it inside and sit inside with it and be in that energy anymore. That's been done this week. This is just the feminine in a heartbeat of feeling all right now, until the moon brings the clarity for the masculine. Magician, manifesting. Hanged man, process. Moon, the moon directly, they're saying. So this is where we're at. So it's like hanging in the balance here with the Hanged Man. So that's the pulsating, feeling okay, right? Manifesting, the Magician. Everything all right in the Magician. He's got all his tools at disposal, all his ducks in a row. Nothing to do, just holding the energy. Look at him holding the energy with his hands. So everything just held still. Heartbeat, heartbeat, moon, Tower, huge shift coming. So there's potentially, they're saying. It's like every time we go through an event like this, it could be a moon, a supermoon of any kind. It could just be there's all these things people talk about. There's equinoxes, there's solstices, there's even people's birthdays and Christmases. There's any kind of anything that's like that registers as an event to you, basically, that you feel is an event that you're going through, right? So it shifts energy. So especially things, they say, like a birthday, where you feel like you're getting like, oh God, another year older and this reunion still hasn't happened, or, I'm still not where I think I should be. Those cause massive shifts in both the masculine and the feminine. So things like that, it's like, you're working on there's a template that you're working to, right? There is a structure that you're working to. You can't see it because it's energetic, right? But there's an energetic organization to it, basically. Like the things that you go through, you're meant to go through. So everything is always as it's meant to be. And you will always go through things at the right time for you and for your twin. So nothing is ever wrong. It's always exactly as it's meant to be. And it depends how many times you've decided to come here and take they're saying take a turn around the floor. Like, people like you dance around a dance floor in partner. It's like, how many times did you come to choose to turn around the floor together in this dance before you finally there's a dream going on almost, where you're not connected in the physical. It's like a dream going on, but you feel like they're there, and you feel like they should be there. You feel like any moment they're going to be there, like energetically they are there, and you're just working in this process. And at some point it's just like shift, and you're out of that energetic work and that dream-like existence, because your life feels like a dream, because it feels like you're not touching the ground, because you're in this higher energy of this process. So it's like you're just not haven't arrived yet, basically. You haven't arrived to take part physically fully yet. So it does a lot of the time feel like you're not taking part physically fully. That's where you get that feeling of why isn't my life turned out the way that other people's have? I look around and I see them and they all look like they're thriving. We're doing things and their lives are moving and changing, and children are coming, and marriages and houses and all this kind of stuff, and jobs and flow, and you're just hanging out, hanging in the balance, right? Because you're working with higher energy. That's why you're here for an energetic work. So it's like you're allowed a certain amount of. It's like Lemurian energy. It's like you're not allowed to completely be here. Basically, you look like you're here, right? But you're not completely here. So shift, happiness, 3 of Cups. So you're going to feel fine. It's all hinging, they're saying. He's a hinge, the Hanged Man. Hinging on feeling fine. So you're going to be kept in. That's what they're saying as well. You don't touch the ground. It's like you're not fully here. So you are going to be now feeling fine through this moon, because that's where you're going to be kept. You're energetically going to be kept there. So you're held in the balance. Held in the balance, the Hanged Man, in a feeling good. So something will shift. Again, in the masculine heart, at the time of the moon, 2 are coming out. And we've got 6 of Cups, which is a reunion. And we've got the dark to the light, the ending of the dark to the light process, the 5 of Swords. So they're coming out at once here. So that's what's hanging in the balance, the reunion, physical. And look, what is really interesting, right? These children in the picture. So they're talking about how you're not fully in the life, right? You're not fully here. Children don't come into land. They don't ground until they're 7 years old, where their brains start to function in a way that can take on board information and start to, process. Before that, they're away with the fairies. So they live in La La Land. They live like a dreamlike existence. So this is like you and your twin. You're basically both living a dreamlike existence with flashes of what comes from outside of human comprehension. All those things, claircognizance, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, this feeling of being connected to someone who isn't there physically, this feeling like that person is, you let go for 1 minute, that person will pop into your head, you'll see their face. Ever many times a day, right? It becomes so, that's just it. They're like stood right in front of you. Because they are, but they're not there physically, they're energetically. So for this to be the reunion card where it's children, right? So it's like you come into ground. When you come together physically, you come into ground and you are here. Once you are together physically, you are here physically. And your life starts to move along physically. So we got that, right? And then we got the dark to the light, the ending of that battle, which just means the ending of the process, basically, of eliminating the dark energy. And look at how he stands there and he's got his sword and he's holding the light up. That's also clarity, because that's the same symbol that you get in the Knight of Swords, which is about clarity. And he's a knight and he's on the battlefield and he's holding the sword of clarity. So it's the clarity coming through the process. It's an aha moment coming, shifting, aha moment, reunion. So that can mean a telephone call, that can mean an email, that can mean a text. That could mean someone now starting the process of tracking you down. So maybe they don't know where you are or how to contact you, but this is where they start looking. That as well is what they're saying. So, because, we've got this magician here, which is held in the balance as well with the magician. It's like, he's really a lot about the internet, actually. He's a lot about searching for information. Look at his hands up. It's like he's just about to get on the iPad. Start tapping away, right? With intent. They're saying with intent. So we've got that there. All the tools at his disposal, using all the tools at his disposal. So what is there? There's Google, there's LinkedIn, there's Facebook, there's searching engines of all descriptions. There's other people, there's private detectives. You just don't know how far it goes. But there's ways of finding people if you want to find someone, if you really put your heart to it, if your heart's set on it. We've got the heart of the masculine. So, how far does that go? Is how far it needs to go. It's how far it has to go. 9 of Wands, which is the process of the masculine coming back to you. And we've got that opposite the moon, and through your feeling good here in the 3 of Cups. So today, whatever you're doing, is a day of just feeling good, having fun. To be honest with you, I've got readings to do for people. And I was going to do a reading for someone today. And as I got the cards out and put on the computer, I just got turned around in a U-turn. They're like, no, you're going to do this because this is going to be really good fun. I'm not saying those readings won't also be fun, but this is going to be really good fun. So they're like, you're going to do this. And I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds like fun. I instantly felt like this, like, oh, yeah, reading for the moon. Great fun. So that's that, right? So I'm just being kept in the portal of fun here, as you will be, to keep the energy aligned for the shift to occur. That's about the masculine receiving the inspiration to do something that, quite honestly, that's going to feel like fun. Ready for adventure, they're saying. So if tracking you down or contacting you is going to feel like fun. It's a game of let's see, right? What could be more fun than that? Let's see. And and this is a game of bravery, they're saying, because if you feel really good about yourself and you feel really happy and you feel ready to get going on a new adventure, then you're not afraid of anything. All you want to do is see what happens next. It's like turning the page of a book, right? So we've got this energy around the masculine turning the page of a book to see what happens next. Because it does feel like they just woke up. Aquarius, wake up call, right? That's what Aquarius is. They're just waking up and feeling like having fun. And they're just waking up and wanting to see what happens next. And that's the inspiration they're going to receive through the claircognizance. It's time to see what happens next. And it's all coming from that earlier feeling of my life has just been not what I wanted it to be. It's never been what I wanted it to be. It feels like it's been on hold. It feels like my life has been sat in a waiting room. It feels like I've got nowhere. I've like been treading water. This is what they've just gone through, because you've experienced it. That's how you know they've experienced it. Hanged Man, wisdom, and again it's the masculine coming out of the man cave with the light of claircognizance held in front, right? Older and wiser, right? Down but not out, they're saying. He's been down but not out, he or she. So they've gone as down as they can go, and now they're coming out. So maybe you had to go down this week so you could bring them up so they could come out. That's what they were saying, right? The Hermit, also number 11, which is the wake-up call. Last card out here, Fruition, 7 of Pentacles, which is something arriving in the physical. The penny about to drop, the apple drops from the tree. A brand new beginning when the penny drops from the tree. The pentacle drops from the tree. That's the Ace of Pentacles, that's a brand new beginning in the physical world. And that's all go from here. The search is on, the Magician, the search for happiness, 3 of Cups, creation and growth, ready to start again, birth, 3 is birth. Maybe the 3 events that you've had, things come in threes, just look how many things come in threes. That's because it's 1, 2, 3. It's 2 eyes and a third eye, right? The all-knowing, all-seeing eye. 1, 2, 3, the fleur-de-lis, 3 feathers. Again, it's the 3-eyed raven, the 3-eyed crow. It's the all-seeing, all-knowing. And the Magician, the search is on for happiness. 1, 2, 3, text, email, phone call, it's like, and the penny drops. And the information comes, and it's a brand new beginning, and you're off. Underneath we have the world, completion of a story, and ready to start again, and off in a new direction. And they're showing me a clear stop, like a racer in a race running around a track at the Olympics, and they've got a clear start and a clear stop of crossing the finish line. And there's not even, when people cross the finish line and they keep going for a little bit, they're not even going very far at all. It's just almost a complete stop. So that's completion there. I'm not sure if my doggy's telling me this all over because she's under the table now. So I might not go on much longer, but let's just see if we get one more out on these. She might be telling me it's done. I don't know where she probably is. Shall I ignore her? Let's carry on. Page of Wands. Guided, like they said, you will be guided into a space of feeling good. Feminine will be guided into holding the feeling good. It's not going to be work. It's just going to be you are. The work is done for you, at least this week, for what's going on. The Magician, masculine and feminine, strength card, right? So it's the connection of the two. So it's very similar what you're going through and what you're experiencing energetically to get you to the end of this process. Both involved, it's energetic, and it is right, and it's whatever it is, whenever it is. Fruition, 5 of Pentacles, which is separation. So that's fruition on the separation. That's what they're saying. The Moon, resistance. So the resistance that's come before the Moon that you've had to go through, that's taking you into the feeling good space. The people that came that were bothering you this week, the events that came were bothering, the things that you thought you were going to have to go through. It's basically what it is. Things that you thought you were going to have to go through, like, I don't want to go through this. Suddenly drop away. Oh, I'm not going to have to go through this, right? Because you're not, because things only come up so you can feel a certain way, so you can feel the resistance of not wanting to do something, so that when it backs off, you feel the release of not having to do it, and you're in such happiness that you're not going to have to do it. That's why it came along, right? For what the Moon needs to do to the masculine over here, 9 of Wands. And the change that needs to come through the resistance that's felt, this is the same almost. The 5 and the 7. They've got different meanings, but they're all about resistance. Look at all the resistance that's going on. Right, so it's a changing of the resistance in the masculine. Creation through your vibration. 3, 3, both threes. You in a waiting room of vibrational momentum, basically, the whole process. Hermit, an ending in the brain. 10 of Swords, an ending in the masculine to the thinking feeling that they go through. The negativity, right? Them being out of whack with their heart, basically. It's an ending to them being unconnected to their heart in a way that's free. Mastery of the heart over here, King of Cups. So mastery of the heart, success, vibrationally. 6 of Wands, which is success vibrationally. Mastery of the heart, feeling good, feeling fine, moving along. Right, ready for a new adventure, riding into town, getting on with things. Head held high, feeling really good, feeling really strong, right? Ready to get on with it. And then we're going to go here, the Tower, love. Shift into love, right? And the one. So it's who is the one? What is the one thing that would make me feel good, right? Beyond everything else that could possibly make me feel good. What is the one thing I want? Remember the other reading we did the other week? This is how men feel when it comes to love. I want you. It's not like I want you because I feel this and I feel that and I feel that. I just want you. That's how they think. That's how they feel. The one is like I want it. I want it. That's what that is there. It's a shift into I want it. And I'm going to, that's it. There isn't even anything, not saying anything else. It's like a determination of I want it. You. And relationship. Hierophant. And that relationship with that person that I haven't had for so long. That's what I want. And that's what's coming along. All right. So therefore we will leave it right there. And have a good moon. Take care. See you later.